Hello friends, I am Kanchan from Akulmach Technologies and you are welcome to our show. Today I will be discussing about one of the wonderful actor. Yes, none other than Sean Connery. Now Sean Connery is the one profile, the one personality who is, I can safely say, is from extraordinary league of actors we have seen in our time. To discuss about his films, his profile, we have Sitesh Srivastav, who has a deep interest in corporate training. He has been associated with radio broadcasting. So, welcome to the show, Sitesh.
Thank you, Kanchan. It's a great to discuss and celebrate the life and times of Sean Connery, who has passed. And I remember his couple of dialogues, and some of them are too close to my heart. Like, some age, others mature. The another one, there's always a new challenge to keep you motivated.
Right.
And the third one, laughter kills fear, and without fear there can be no faith, for without fear of the devil there is no need for God. So with Sir Connery passing away, there are so many memories of growing up, so many memories of feeling macho, so many feeling of chases, so many feeling of the young youth that I grew up in my time. And in all, he did those 7 movies, and all of them were the blockbusters. They made him what he was. And there are so many tributes that are pouring in. And I think the generation which grew up with Sean Connery can never forget the hallmark actor that he was. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I actually appreciated his all pictures, all films, and though James Bond were kind of like separate, but the kind of profile he has maintained for this character is awesome. And a very few actor after him can match the kind of character he portrayed. But all this success was not easy for him because in 1946, at the age of 16, he joined Royal Army, and then at the age of 18, he also got an interest in bodybuilding, and it is said that he acquired number 3 position in the Olympiad 1951, if I'm not wrong. But he never mentioned about this because he realized that the career in bodybuilding is till 30. So he opted for films. So I think that was the wisest decision he has taken. Otherwise, we would have missed the finest actor on this earth, isn't it?
Yes, and I think Kanchan, by the sheer dint of luck, he was not interested in doing a series of films on the same story. And the writer, the author of James Bond, the fictional character, Ian Fleming, also didn't think that he was macho enough, but he changed his mind after his first movie. And what a better possible way to pay a tribute that I saw today, Kanchan, Amul putting up that small banner that it is famous for, a diamond is forever, Connery, Sean Connery, just like Bond, James Bond. So there are so many memories that are coming to mind, and so many, in the modern generation of our own Bollywood stars, many have taken inspiration from Sean Connery, the screen presence. And I'm sure the amount of the words that are coming out of our Bollywood stars and television stars and movie stars, that is unprecedented. In fact, I'm amused to learn that Nasiruddin Shah, the great actor, says Sean Connery reminded him of Jackie Shroff, a person who didn't take himself seriously and that I would really, I'm just thinking, what kind of statement is this?
Yes, you're also making me think about this statement. But keeping these statements aside, we have cherished his the films, and you know that he started his career in a small theater and television productions. But first job he took up was a milkman, and he was supplying milk. And later on, he also worked as a babysitter for I think close to 1 year to a journalist and his actress wife. So success is never kind of easy for Sean Connery. But once he has took up uh, Bond series, and he has established a style, an action style through his movie. The character he portrayed was awesome. It's so remarkable, and you always take something after of his the essence of James Bond with you once the film is finished, isn't it?
Yes, and this is I'm just seeing so many footages of his movies, and some of those footages are beyond James Bond also, and I'm seeing tidbits of that footage. And when I find time in coming weekend, I would see some of his earliest Bond movies. And Amitabh Bachchan, our own Amitabh Bachchan, shared a screen space with Sean Connery in that movie, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And he says that Sean Connery's death comes at 31st October 2020. And if you add all of those, and it comes to the total is 007, the number of the Bond. And he says he gave life to 007. So I think the personality of Sean Connery can be not only seen from the impact that he made on the youth, he also made an impact on a glamorous cinema. The cinema that was, if we remember, Kanchan, in 50s and 60s, cinema was more about a social experiment, especially in India. And with the introduction of Sean Connery movies in India, we saw the fashionable cinema and from the international repertoire, and that went on to become such a big cult. I mean, today when I see the words of Lata Mangeshkar ji, what Anupam Kher says, and Shatrughan Sinha, and all our own stars and starlets, it it reminds that it is also time for us to showcase some of the works of Sean Connery to our children as well, because most of our children have seen Pierce Brosnan onwards, isn't it?
Right. I think watching Sean Connery is like getting wings of fantasy, especially when we talk about 007, because I think there are two phases of his contract with this film production house. One was from 1962 with Dr. Nemu, and till 1983, Never Say Never Again. And I just want to share one thing, that this Never Say Never Again title was coined by his wife, because after that it is heard that he never enjoyed the kind of glory and attraction he got after Bond, because it became after some time quite boring for him. But otherwise also, beside this 007, he has done wonderful work, which are acclaimed work in cinema as far as Sean Connery is concerned.
That's right, Kanchan. And I think this is also the time to remember that he also featured in some other popular films as well, like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Highlander, Marnie, Family Business, Untouchables, The Man Who Would Be King, and he winning an Oscar for The Untouchables, being knighted by the Queen in 2000, some of the highlights of his career.
Right.
And in fact, I'm quite amused to tell you, Kanchan, that yesterday some of the memes were being passed on And in one of the meme, it was shown that there was some letter he wrote to Steve Jobs, which turned out to be so fake. I mean, that shows that even in the death, Sean Connery is the Bond, and he will live in our hearts forever.
Yeah, there are few films which are very close to my heart is, and one of them is The Man Who Would Be King. It's awesome film, and the combination, the two heroes, Michael Caine, who is again a favorite actor, and with Sean Connery. And as you know, that who played, I mean, they were soldiers in the film, and they put themselves and they want to become kings of a place called Kafristan, and the way the picture is depicting the struggle, the happiness. This film is very close to my heart, and a part of this, one is Untouchable, and one other is action movie Raw, which I really enjoy, and I can see these films time and again. Any day you can ask me to see this film, I'm ready. So I think a part of this, he has also done some Alfred Hitchcock films, which are again the kind of acting skill he has shown in these movies. They are awesome and at par.
Yes, Kanchan, and his Hollywood co-stars and other fraternity in the Hollywood, as well as the in the Scotland movie industry, the British film industry. There are so much is being said about Sean Connery, Sir Sean Connery. I would always think, Kanchan, that these transformational stars, they probably say some written lines. These lines are not their own. They say the lines written by a script writer, but the way they say it on the screen, as it is said in the films, they light up the screen, and that remains etched into the memories of people forever. And I was hearing about someone saying that how his dad would always say that, don't I look like Sean Connery? And the son was saying, well, I was smiling always inside. These are the anecdotes by which a legend is born. So there are thousands and thousands of actors, but there are very rare legends. And as Amul said, diamond is forever. So I think Sean Connery will remain always, as I think he's also part of Hall of Fame in Hollywood. And I was seeing some tribute given to him by the actor of Austin Powers, and he said, without Sean Connery, there was no Austin Powers. And how he was comparing his father and himself with Sean Connery. So I think there are some people, not just movie stars. There are some people who, if they are combined with great story, great lyrics, great script writing, and a charisma on the screen, I think they become legends. And I salute to the man.
Yes, and I also want to tell you that The Bridge Too Far is also very awesome film of Sean Connery, and if you have not seen it, you must see that picture. And I also want to just share my few things actually. He was also offered a role of Gandalf in Lord of the Rings series. So though I have seen these series, I think not once but twice. So, but he said that he didn't. He said he's not able to understand the script, so he denied this offer. And it is said that if he had opted for this role, he was offered at that point of time $30 million along with 15% of worldwide box office receipt for the role, but he did not accept it. Likewise, he was also offered a character in film Matrix, the role of architect. And it was a good role, but somehow he didn't like the role. He again declined this role. And in, I think, 2006, he declared official retirement. So somehow we were not able to see any of his movies after 2006. But he will remain in our hearts, in the movies, and anytime we can switch, maybe after this recording, I'll go and watch one movie of Sean Connery, because his actor is par excellence, and the way he portrayed the character, they're awesome and very, very realistic depiction of any character.
Right, right. And I think I will spend another few hours trying to read all the tributes that are pouring in from the news channels, from the social media, and especially this is also a great time to talk to some of our old friends or a generation senior to us, and talk to them what is their view, or how did they shape their young age while they were watching and emulating the original James Bond.
Yes, he will remain an original James Bond. So we will be discussing about his pictures and other pictures beside James Bond with our friends and family. So it was nice talking to you, Siddesh. See you tomorrow in next episode. Till then, bye bye.
Thank you. And I will just leave by the last dialogue that I remember, which are just flowing out of my mind. Love may not make the world go round, but I must admit that it makes the ride worthwhile. Thank you, Kanchan.
Thank you, Siddesh. Bye.